Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Okay, now I'm making this video in response to a young 18-year-old man named Wyatt. And he had he was asking me for advice. I'm not good at giving advice, but the question he was wondering was so important. I emailed, or I was going to write out an email, and after I had it wrote out, I thought, man, I just can't put it in words. It is such an important question. And what it is, as an 18-year-old male who's wanting to become a good man, he asked a very important question. And the question was, he was wanting to go into the military, the Marines. And he's always wanted to be a Marine. And he asked what my thoughts were about this. Now, this is a tough one. Most everybody, the public, knows me as what you see on YouTube, or now they see me as an old man. I'm 65 years old, and this is what people see me as now. It's been a long, hard struggle. I wasn't born like this. I really do have good values and good morals, and I've got the means and the abilities to stand behind it. It hasn't always been that way. But what you see is the end result. And this is what Wyatt and many 18-year-old males want to achieve. I was the same thing. My thoughts at 18 was I need to go into the military. One, to show my patriotism, to show everybody I'm half Chinese, to show everybody I'm just as much as American as anybody else. And that's what my thought was when I joined. And then after I started thinking about joining, I thought, well, man, it's going to be good for me. It's going to, really be a good thing. And so I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, I want to join the Marine Corps. So that's how I got involved in it. But there's more than that. And this is what I want to talk about. Okay. First of all, I always give suggestions, and these suggestions come from my experiences. And this is going to be the same thing. I went to Vietnam as a Marine in 1967, late part of 67. I was 18 years old. Normally, I don't like to talk like this on videos. But at 18 years old, I was killing people. I was brought up not to fight. Young man, I was fighting. Minority, I was in an all-white school system. I was fighting a lot. My dad kept telling me, don't fight, don't fight. So I've been brought up not to fight. Got in the Marine Corps. They said not only it's good to fight, but it's good to kill. That is a very difficult thing for the mind and spirit to go through. And not only doing this, but watching so much death around you. It really does traumatize you. And I got out. I spent 13 months, 5 months of training, 13 months in combat in Vietnam. After that, I was out. They let me out. I was only in a year and a half. 19 years old, I come home. Most 19-year-olds, or at least my friends, were in college. I couldn't even be around people my age. At 19 years old, I was far more mature than any 19-year-old. I had abilities that no one of any age, or very few of any age, had. I say I got wounded, but not much. Little wounds compared to we get in a fight. The other people around me are losing limbs, their intestines and stuff is all out. This is really bad. My little wounds meant nothing. So I just went through as if nothing happened. The mental scars were really bad. And like many vets, combat vets, came home drinking and doing stupid, crazy things. The smartest thing was, at least I didn't take drugs. I was smart enough not to get into the drug stuff. But it does affect you a lot. I was fortunate. At 22, 21, I finally figured out I'm going to be okay. I stopped drinking. I stopped doing stupid stuff. 22, I found my wife. At first, she thought it was a dream marriage, like a lot of people get married and they think a dream. Then she realized I was a little different. But I still had her support. I had her support. Plus I had the family and owned businesses, so I had responsibilities, and so I focused on my wife, raising a family, and business. So I was able to, I think anyway, come into some kind of a life. I've been able to form some kind of life. So with that, with my experience, my son, I discouraged military service. And the reason was, as I got older and I realized it wasn't patriotism that I got out of my military service. I had patriotism is what got me into the military service. But you don't learn patriotism from the military. And so like I said, I discouraged it from my son because I didn't want him to go through what I went. I don't know if that was the right thing to do or not. Who knows? But I did teach him what I learned from the military. Discipline, confidence, and strength. It's faster and easier to get it in the military. it can be achieved outside the military. It won't be the same, but it can be achieved. Some of the suggestions I would have for an 18-year-old male. Would be Peace Corps. That's something you can sign up. I think it's a 2-year enlistment, and they give you the support, just like the military would be, a support system. They make sure you have food, they keep you reasonably safe, and they get you outside the United States in an uncomfortable environment in which you learn positive things. That's one thing that could be considered. College. I'm not a college kind of guy. I went to college, 40-some years old. My kids, when they were in college, they told me, Dad, college, they just want you to learn things that aren't accurate. And you have to learn this stuff to pass the classes. I screwed up when I said sometimes you have to do what you gotta do. And when I said that, I really screwed up. I didn't know it at the time. But I told them to sell out on their morals and values. In other words, even though it was wrong, go along with it, even though it's wrong, because you have to reach your goal. And that was the wrong thing for me to say. And what they learned from college was to take orders, even if it's the wrong thing to do. Do things even though your gut feeling tells you it's wrong, you still do it. I screwed up on that. But we all screw up in our lives. And I told my kids, even after that, when I realized I screwed up, I told them. There's some things that I told them that was wrong. That was one of the things. And now that's one of the crosses that they got to bear, just like some of the crosses I have to bear. Some of the wrong that I've done, I've had to correct. I've had to find my own way. They are the same. They're going through the same thing. And so that's just the way I look at things. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying my experience. Okay, another thing you can do at 18. Get on a cruise ship. I think it's 6 months. You sign up for 6 months. And same thing, they'll give you a support system. They'll watch over you, make sure you're fed, place to sleep, all that stuff. Okay. I've even thought about doing that now. Like I say, I have no responsibilities, no obligations now in this period of my life. So I've even thought about doing that. So, but that would be an option for an 18-year-old young man. You'll see and learn a lot of stuff. Take a trip. Don't put a time or a schedule on where you're going. Where you're going, how long you're going to be there, doesn't matter. One thing that I've learned, now I'm a little different. I've got skills. And so I meet people and my skills open doors, and then I'm invited to go to places, do things and stuff like that. But even as a young man with no skills, you know and understand you don't have any skills, but you're still a young man. If you're eager to learn, there's opportunities when you're on the road. One of the things I'm looking at now is learning to sail, getting on board a ship, and learning how to do whatever they do on ships. So that's something. Like I say, you get on the ship, I don't know where the ship's going to go. I don't care where it's going to go. You just go someplace, and you're going to learn. I've heard the way to do it is to go to a harbor and the taverns and stuff that are around the harbor, go around, hang around in there, and somebody that's looking for a crew will be in there, and there's opportunity. There's your chance to get on a boat. Now where it's going to go, I don't know. What they're going to teach you, I don't know. But I didn't know when I went into the Marine Corps what was going on either. So that's an opportunity. And I would suggest, as a young man, 18 years old, I think most every family has got an uncle that most everybody kind of shy away from. There's an uncle that has got some stories that are just beyond belief. Maybe it's a cousin. Go to that person, talk to them, find out what they've been doing with their lives. More than likely, if they've got stories like that, they've gone places, they've done things. That might start a little light in you. My personal beliefs, I don't know about a woman. I'm not talking, none of this has nothing to do with a young lady. No, I've never been a young lady. But my thoughts, as a young man, the biggest things in the world that's going to happen to you will happen between 18 and 21 years old. You can either, I say, stay in a sheltered environment such as home or college, or get out and do something. By the time you're 21, you're going to have a pretty good idea what you shouldn't be doing. And that'll help you in the later years. I say, our military has changed from a military force that's protecting this nation like it's supposed to a political tool. Vietnam was a political war. I never understood when I was a young man what they meant by a political war. But it was. Afghanistan, Iraq, these are all political wars. Maybe World War II wasn't political. I don't know. I came around after World War II. But every war in my time has been political wars. So I don't have faith in the government to take my life and throw it on the line for the benefits of some politician. That's me. You make up your own mind. I'm just sharing my thoughts. But I'll tell you one thing. I do have my morals, my good morals, and strong morals. And I've got good and strong values. And I've got the means and abilities to keep them. I'm a God-fearing man that fears no man. This is Mike. NoStressMike.com.